A situation happens, and the reaction starts immediately. The intensity rises quickly and feels larger than what just happened. It stays present even when the moment has already passed. The reaction does not match the size of the situation. This is not random. Emotional responses are built through systems in the brain and body that work together. What you feel is not created only by the current moment. It is constructed from processes that are already active. Memory, prediction, and physical responses are already in motion before you fully register what is happening. The intensity reflects how those systems combine, not just the situation itself. The brain compares the present moment to past experience. This process is automatic and happens before full awareness. In neuroscience, this is pattern recognition. When the brain detects similarity between what is happening now and what has happened before, it activates a response based on that match. The reaction starts immediately because the system is not evaluating from zero. It is using existing patterns. That is why the response happens before you have time to think it through. The brain matches first, then awareness follows. This allows fast reactions, but it also means the response is based on prior experience, not only the current situation. Once a pattern is recognized, the emotional memory linked to it is reactivated. This involves structures like the amygdala and hippocampus working together. The amygdala processes emotional significance, while the hippocampus retrieves stored memory. When both systems activate, the emotional response connected to past experience is brought into the present moment. The reaction is not only based on what is happening now. It includes emotional information that has already been stored. This increases intensity because the system is combining current input with past emotional responses. The brain is not starting fresh. It is reusing emotional memory. The body is part of the emotional response from the beginning. When the brain identifies something as important, it activates the autonomic nervous system. This leads to changes in heart rate, muscle tension, breathing, and overall activation. These physical signals increase the intensity of the experience. The body does not react after the emotion. It builds it. The stronger the physiological activation, the stronger the overall response feels. This is why the reaction can escalate quickly. The body and brain are working together, and the physical state directly contributes to how intense the experience becomes. The sensation is not separate from the emotion. It is part of what makes the reaction feel strong. The brain is constantly predicting outcomes. This is part of predictive processing, where past experience is used to anticipate what might happen next. The system prepares responses before the situation is fully understood. That includes emotional responses. The reaction begins as a prediction, not only as a response to current input. This increases intensity because part of the response is already in motion. The brain is not waiting to react. It is preparing in advance. That preparation adds to the overall experience, making the reaction feel stronger and more immediate. The response is built from expectation as much as from what is actually happening. The nervous system does not reset between moments. Activation from a previous experience can remain in the system even after the situation has changed. This is known as carryover. The body can stay in a state of heightened activation with elevated heart rate, muscle tension, and alertness still present. When a new situation happens, the response does not start from neutral. It starts from that already activated state. This raises the baseline of the reaction. Because the system is already active, it takes less to increase intensity further. The reaction builds on what is already there. That is why the response can feel stronger than the situation. It is not only about what just happened. It also reflects the state the system was already in before the moment began. Attention determines what becomes more noticeable in the moment. The brain uses attention to prioritize information, and what is prioritized becomes more present in awareness. When attention focuses on the reaction, it increases how clearly the sensation is perceived. This is part of how attention works in the brain. It does not create the response, but it increases the strength of the signal. The more attention returns to the reaction, the more it stands out. This makes the experience feel stronger, even if the original trigger has not changed. Attention acts like a magnet. It pulls the same signal back into focus, which keeps the response active and increases its intensity over time. An emotional reaction is not created by one system acting alone. It is the result of several systems working at the same time. Pattern recognition, emotional memory, body activation, prediction, and attention all contribute to the response. Each system adds information, and the brain combines those signals into a single experience. This process is known as integration. The brain does not present these signals separately. It organizes them into one coherent response that can be processed quickly. Because all of these systems are active at once, the response can build quickly and feel immediate. The intensity reflects how much information is being processed at the same time, not just what is happening in the moment. The reaction is not created by a single event. It is built by the system in real time. The brain recognizes patterns, reactivates emotional memory, predicts outcomes, and the body amplifies the signal while attention keeps it active. These systems work together, and their combined activity is what you experience as intensity. That brings us back to the question from the beginning. Why does it feel stronger than it is? Because the response is not coming from the situation alone. It is coming from multiple systems that are already active and working together. The intensity reflects how the brain and body are processing information, not just what is happening in the moment. Once that is clear, the reaction is no longer unexplained. It is understood as a process and